nobody's at, then you're like, all right, dude, you snapped.
our next guest is waiting, but before we get to our next guest, like, did you share this? Is it like one of them Google Doc things?
Yeah.
You see, like, between the Google Docs, the Google Hangouts, like, you're fucking me all up this week. You're like,
I have a Chromebook, so I'm constantly logged into Google, so it's real easy for me. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everything is an app.
Oh, these fucking apps. So, all right. So, like I said, they're waiting patiently. Here they are.
All right.
They're kicking Philly's ass, and they're known as Rat Rod. What's going on, guys? Who all do we got here? So I'm sure we got everybody.
You got the whole band playing with our apps.
Yeah.
Look at that. So you guys are app educated too?
Yep.
We got our Warriors too.
Look at that. Warrior app users, Rat Rod. They're in the house. So what's going on, guys?
Not much, Bay.
Hanging in there, Bay. How you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in here. So we got, all right, so let's do a roll call. So we got Mike,
right.
Mark, we got
Mike
Little John.
Here.
Yo.
Elliot.
Elliot.
And
Bryce.
And Bryce.
Look at that. So all five of the guys are here, and they're getting ready to kick Philly's ass in 7 days, and then in 8 days they're going to do it again, and then they're going to do it again in a couple weeks. But let's get into the whole.
We're just on an ass-kicking tour here.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing, like a funny thing too, like so I know Little John the most. So me and John were talking. I'm guessing it was over a year ago. We were at a show or whatever, and we're talking. And I was thinking about this. I was like, the discussion was about playing in bands and all. And at the time, John was like, dude, you know what? I'm never playing in an original band again because, like, you know, it's just so hard to get through, you know, especially in this scene. And like 6 months later, he came to me. He's like, dude, this band, he was like, I think I'm going to go play in an original band. He's like, they're fucking awesome. He's like, when you hear them, you're going to be blown away. And I was like, okay. And then he told me the name, and I was sold instantly. Like, I think it's such like the perfect name for a rock and roll band. Like, I think to myself when I think of bands like, you know, like Motley Crue, like the ultimate band name. Like, I think to myself is I want to see this name in lights. Does it make sense? And the name Rat Rod, it just works so good for rock and roll, for you guys. It's one of them things that's where it's like, it's a simple name and a common term now, especially in the world with it. I mean, you guys are car lovers and all. So it's a very natural name now. I'm so glad a Philly band took it. And I hope you guys copyright it so nobody tries to steal it and own that shit.
Funny you should say that.
We were just talking about that last night, and yes, we are working on that. Working on doing what's a trademark of it and protect it so that nobody else can steal it from us.
Absolutely, get on that, like now.
Yep.
Like,
yesterday.
Go out there, a snake.
Because I don't know what we'd do if we had to give it up. It really is who we are. We're just a ratty bunch of dudes that play loud rock and roll. I mean, it's a perfect name for what we do.
Yeah. And
I blame Mike for it because he came up with it.
Yeah, we were thinking. Mark and I were trying to think of a name, and I was driving home from work one day, and I know he loves, you know, well, I do too. I love, you know, the old school muscle cars, and we went through 2 or 3, 4 names and couldn't think of nothing. It just hit me one day. I'm driving. I'm like, Rat Rod. I'm like, man, that sounds killer. So I knew Mark was on his way home from work, so I called him from my car on the you know, Bluetooth thing or whatever. And I told him, and as soon as he heard it, he was like, yeah, dude, that's it. And I was like, cool. I was like, I hope you like that.
Yeah. And it just like any band with a name, we tend to shape our thought processes and our writing styles and stuff like that around the name, around the image or whatever, and
sure,
we started writing like that, even more so than we already were. his lyric content started taking on sort of a car sort of idea, even if it's not directly. It was just kind of car vibed, and we're continuing to do that on the new stuff we're writing. It's just it's really informed where we're headed with this thing. It's pretty cool. That's
awesome. Now, how did you guys hook up? Because as I was going through and I was scoping out your Facebooks today, it seemed like, Mark and Mike, this was your brainchild. It seems like you guys, it's not like you guys knew each other for a long time, it seems like.
It's funny. We knew of each other. We knew who each other were, but we never officially met. We go back to the late 80s, early 90s. But we just never actually met each other.
Yeah. It was bizarre. It's weird.
And through a mutual friend, Al Pavano, which a lot of folks know out there, he hooked us up because I was playing in an AC/DC tribute, and that went south. So I was busy sulking over that. And Mike you were doing cover band stuff, right?
I was doing some cover bands, but I didn't want to do it, so I put an ad on my own little thing on Facebook saying, hey, anybody out there know any guitar players? I'd like to start something original, and old school, just, old AC/DC style kind of thing, bluesy rock, hard rock. And like Mark said, mutual friend of ours, Al Pavano, sent me a message. He's like, hey, check out, give this guy Mark a call. He might be your guy. He's like, was in an AC/DC tribute. He's not doing anything. I think he might be perfect for you. So I gave Mark a call. We started talking, and just right at the first conversation, we just agreed on everything that music-wise, and then we started talking about what we would want to do if we got a band, and we agreed on everything. It's just been bizarre. In a great way. It was like the stars aligned like perfectly, and just very strange, almost like it was like meant to be, like a destiny thing or something. It's weird.
Sure.
Kind of peculiar in that regard. And to backtrack a little bit, while during that sulking period, I was writing them some riffs and ideas and stuff, and Bryce was tipping in and tipping out with me as well, and we were jamming a little bit. And Al and Mike, we'd all three kind of through different times of conversation that talked about, well, would it be another tribute band or that kind of thing? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do another tribute. I didn't know what I wanted to do personally, but I didn't want to do that. So we just kept working on some of the ideas that I'd started with, and Mike's voice just fit like a glove with the ideas I had in my mind, and we just kept writing from there. And then for the rest of the boys.
Well, I was playing a gig with the Pat Benatar band I'm in, and Mike comes up to me and says, "You're the guy I want." And I was like, "Dude, I don't play originals," like we've been through.
And he still doesn't, by the way.
So after a while, Mike's like, "Let me just send you some stuff," and he sent me "Do You Remember" and "Mirror Mirror," and I listened to them on my phone. By the time they were done, I was on the phone with them going, "I'm in, dude." It just reminded me of that 1980s, late 80s Baltimore, dirty looks, kicks, all that stuff. Mike's voice, he could be the next singer in Dirty Looks if they ever wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked. And you know what I was like talking to you. I was I'm just ecstatic to play with these guys.
And then...
Real quick, I have to tell this story. I didn't know if I was going to bring this up or not, but now I have to worry. And John, this is about you. Now,
of course it is.
It's funny because Mark and Mike, they were saying how they knew of each other, going back to the late 80s. Like, I've known of Little John since like the mid to late 80s, from going to the Empire on All Ages Sundays and all. But I never knew him personally. And it's funny because, 30 years later, I've come to love the guy and all, but I would see him. I was like, this little snot-nosed freaking teenager hanging at the Empire on a Sunday, and I would see John like in the midst of the crowd, or like he was always like walking back and forth real fast, and he would stand there and he was scoping and go back, and it would drive me nuts. And I'd be like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, who is this fucking guy? And I would always say, I'm like, in my head, I'm like howling at myself, like, who is this motherfucker? And he's going back and forth, and then like. Fast forward, the scene goes through its changes in 20-something years, and then I start coming back around, and I start seeing, I'm like, holy fuck, that's that guy. And then we start like hanging and talk. We have all these mutual friends. Like, this motherfucker is a great motherfucker. I'm like so happy I'm like finally met the guy 30 years later. But I had to tell that story.
Thanks,
that's
man.
Wow.
I'm hyper. You know how it is.
Yep. And we feel pretty fortunate to have him in our little operation here. He's a lot of fun. He can play a little bit of bass too, which is pretty cool.
Just a little.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
I'm just here to look pretty.
And he's failing at that, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Now,
we got with Bryce. He came in full time with us over the summer. He was actually playing drums with us at first.
Oh wow.
And because he's multi-talented as well. And but we had a different guitar player we were working with, and just wasn't working out. Just didn't click. So we thought, you know what? Why don't we try to see if we can find a drummer and maybe move you over to guitar, because he's obviously a good guitar player. And that's when
I came in.
That's when Elliot comes in.
I got a call around mid-July, I believe. And I'm the youngest guy in this band. I mean, like, I'm not going to disclose my age, but I'm...
He's 14. No, I'm kidding.
It's my first day. But I got a call, like, mid-July, like, just straight out of school. And I was, not doing much. And I got a call from Bryce, who I've known for a long time. We've done music stuff all the time.
High school.
Yeah, we go back, way back in high school.
What was that, last year?
Shut up, John.
And I've known Mark for a long time because he's very involved in our local high school, and I appreciate him for that. But I've known these guys for a long time, and I've known they were serious about rock and roll and things like that, and I was too. And so I got a call from Bryce, and he's like, "Hey man, I got this group. My dad's got this group. We play some rock and roll stuff.
Mark and Bryce are father and son, if you haven't figured that out yet.
So
Mark, I want to ask you about that too. Remind me. So go ahead, Elliot. I'm sorry.
Okay. So he was just like, listen to the work on SoundCloud and just tell me what you think and see if you might be interested. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I listened to the record, and I was like, okay, these songs are killer. I couldn't get them out of my head that day, and I instantly just, I started learning them. And I think it was like I called Bryce back, and I was like, yeah, I dig this shit, man. And he was like, all right, well, it was Monday, I believe I got the call. And he was like, all right, come out Wednesday, just see how things work. I believe John was in already or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was basically like 2 days, learn the record, see how you feel. And I was like, I'm in this, So essentially I learned our entire, Do You Remember Rock and Roll album in like 2 days, because it was just that sound that I haven't heard, since listening to like High Voltage for the first time or something like that. It was just like, what is this? Like, nobody's doing this today. Especially me being like, a younger cat, like no kids my age are like listening to rock and roll, like what this is, and it's just exciting to do something that you're not going to see another dude your age doing, so.
Kind of makes you feel good for the future, don't it?
Yeah.
It really does. And I think about this a lot too, because like, there was like a real lull, I think, in the everybody knows in the rock and roll world, and I think the younger generation, like I think with the whole these School of Rocks and all, are putting out amazing musicians, and I think the future is really bright with all these younger kids coming up that are super talented.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think the whole Guitar Hero Rock Band stuff helped with that too.
Oh, I think that kind of hurt.
You
But
think it
other
hurt?
than
Hey, you know what?
I think it exposed kids.
I'm a product of that. I have to say, I am a product of that. Guitar Hero 3 was, I was, like I said, I'm a young cat, so keep that in mind, man. Like I'm young at this, but I'm on my shit, I like to say. And
he was just let's just say he was sucking the correct tit.
yeah.
I said him, not me.
Yeah, man. This shit is real. It really is. You can hear it in the songs. It's just. I've been waiting for something that was, as edgy as this, and I'm glad I got this opportunity now. So it's cool, man. It's cool. So we're only getting better.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, like you guys said, Bryce is your son. Did you ever think like you'd be playing in a rock and roll band with your son?
Always wanted to. Always thought it would be really awesome to. But did I ever allow myself to really think about that in real terms? No, not at all. And it's been really cool.
We don't know what Bryce thinks, but
We never know what Bryce thinks. He never says anything.
I'm very quiet. I like to keep my thoughts to myself.
But
Now,
that actually brings up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
which I think you were just going to say, like, is Bryce leaving? Is that what I saw, that he was leaving the band, or?
Yes, as of our last May show, he said that's going to be his last show. The May 19th show that we do will be his last one. He's actually training to be a fireman, so he's got to focus on that and just can't devote the time where he needs to. So we're shaking hands amicably and saying good luck, and you've always got a home.
That's awesome.
He's a founder, so.
Yep, he's got riffs on the new album that we're working on, and that's the way it's going to be. Indeed.
That's cool. Dude, that's awesome though. I mean, it's a scary career, but I applaud you. You got bigger balls than I do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's not something I would do. I'd run the other direction.
Believe it or not, I'm doing it because it's fun.
Yeah.
okay.
I must have dropped him on his head one too many times.
Oh man. Now, Mark, did you play all the instruments on this album?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Notice how quickly Elliot said that. The drums.
That's all work. That's all on him.
That's not me on drums.
That is not Elliot on drums, everybody. That is me.
He was all right.
Yes, I played everything on the record. So if you like it, thank you. If you hate it, I'm sorry. I did the best I could.
So like, I mean, you and Mike, I mean, you guys were really, I guess you really didn't want to wait to like bring a band on. I mean, you guys are like, boom, 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 let's write it, record it, do the whole thing.
Well, here's the funny thing. It really wasn't ever intended to be a band. It was just us writing tunes. We were just putting stuff together because we were enjoying the common ideas, and it just felt natural. And as it was coming together, as we were hearing the songs one after another, it was like, damn, there's something here. And
right.
then it just was like, all right, well, let's finish it. And then it was like, okay, well, we've got to put this out there. Okay, now we've got to support it, so let's get a band together to play it. Mm-hmm. It just was very organic, very natural, and we never really stopped to think about it or look backwards. It was always forwards.
Yeah, I mean, like Mark said, we got together. We're like, hey, let's write some songs, have some fun. We record them and whatever. So after about 4 or 5 songs, I said to Mark, I'm like, yo, man, I think we got something here that's more than just writing some songs for fun. I mean, yeah. I really think that if people hear these tunes, I mean, I just think
sure.
we might do something here. And so what we did as an experiment, we put the first song, we put The Fool on Facebook just to see what the reaction was. And I just put it up. We didn't even have the name Rat Rod yet. I just put it up, hey, here's a song that me and my friend Mark have been working on. What do you guys think? Just to get it. And the feedback, I mean, on Facebook, I mean, it was insane. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Within 3 days, it was like 200 likes and comments and all this other stuff. All good, and right there, that's when I was like, damn, my gut was right. We got something here that's going to be more than just, hey, a fun. Well, it's fun, but I mean more than just, hey, let's make a CD and then part ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I saw that, the response, that's like Mark said. We just finished about 4 or 5 more songs and figured, let's just do this. We'll record everything, and then we'll, shop for. We'll look for guys and pick, each member out, and if make sure everybody, whoever likes it, and give them the CD. Say, hey, here, learn these songs, and
yeah,
and that's what happened. And we just, once that was done, we just set up rehearsals and
it's been a lot of gut feeling, just following our instincts and
Sure.
not thinking too hard about it,
Yeah.
which is an easy trap to get into.
Yeah, gut moves, man.
Gut moves, and don't think too hard about it, and just go with it. And I'm reading a book here right now, and there's a quote in there that just sums us up perfectly. It says the quote is something like, "It ain't Beethoven, it's rock and roll."
Yeah, dude.
And that's what we
Absolutely.
do. We just play rock and roll. We don't think too much about it.
I think you just
don't
found the
think
name
about
of
it at all,
the next album.
basically.
Yeah.
No, you think you messed up.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, we really have. It's literally fun. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, and we all get along like brothers, and already, and
In all respects, we hate each other. We love each other. It's all the same thing.
It's kind of funny. One of our first shows, we were playing Sweeney's, and there was a bunch of kids that were going on right before us, and they were sitting at the table next to us, like after like sound check and waiting for it to open up and get ready to go, and they're talking chord theories and song structures, and I looked at Mark and Mike, and I'm like, wow, all I'm worried about is not getting hit with one of your headstocks or mic stands.
Mhm.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's pretty much the level of thought we have. Is who's going to run into who, and if I fall down, will you pick me up?
Yeah, right.
I know you don't.
Oh man. Now you guys did you guys say you're already like working on the next album already?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are.
Counts out of the bag.
No. We've got about 7 songs together so far for it. We're shooting for another 10-song record, and we have a lofty goal of putting it out in August. Hopefully the same date a year later from the first record.
Nice.
So that would be August 25th. That's our goal.
we're shooting for August 25th of this year for the next one.
Please, nobody hunt us down if we don't make that date, but that's what we're trying for.
Oh, it's too funny. So, all right, so you guys got some shows coming up next Thursday night at the Troc.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Playing the Troc
That's
Thursday night with, that's going to be really cool. Opening up, of course, for Punky Meadows and Frank Domino of Angel fame with Stone and
Dog Bite Money.
Thank you.
Shout out to Stone.
Absolutely.
They're great friends of ours that helped us out in the past, and
Bunch of cool dudes.
we're grateful for them. So shout out to Stone. They're a great band.
Yeah, Joe's great. Joe, Larry, good guys.
Yep. And then the Friday right after that, on the 13th, we're playing at Bar 13 down in Wilmington, in Delaware.
Hey.
With Delacoma,
Yeah.
White
looking forward to
Trash
that.
Stars, which is another great band. You know, Eddie Baldwin and
Mhm.
Ray. And I think it's Killer Kind. It was.
Yeah.
I think that got switched, but that's going to be another great night. I love that place.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Personally, for me, that's the first time I've played down there, so I'm looking forward to doing that. That's going to be awesome.
Word.
Indeed.
And then a whole bunch of other dates coming up. We've got another date in April down in Hot Shots in Westville. And then Bryce's last show in May is going to be at the Red Stallion. That's May 19th. And we're booked out clear to into December with dates. And everything's on the website at ratrodrocks.com.
Hey.
Damn. Now, how about the guitar search for a new guitarist? How's that coming along?
It's coming along fairly well. We're not really ready at this moment to announce anything, but things are going well. We'll be announcing something very soon, though.
Cool. Very, very
So
cool.
obviously, Bryce's last gig being in May, that kind of gives you something to chew on.
Chew on this. Very, very cool.
Hey, Mike, write that down. That's your song title.
I got it. Chew on this.
That's how it works. That's how Rat Rod's song right there.
Cool. Well, guys, thanks for the next week for the hookup. Thanks for being a guest. And let's play some music, man. Let's do this.
Hey,
let's,
thanks,
bro.
Thank you, man.
You.
Thanks, Bay. Thanks for having us, buddy.
Love you,
Absolutely.
babe. Keep the Oreos coming.
You know, it's funny. I was actually thinking about doing a thing earlier. I have a pack of Oreo thin coconuts, which I have never tried.
Oh, dude, see, I want to come over and do one of them with you because I could eat the rest of the package if you eat the 2. I could eat the rest of them myself.
Yeah, see, I'm honestly not a big Oreo person. I never was, And I don't know why I even started doing these things.
We're thinking about having a Rat Rod Oreo party here now.
Yeah, man.
But now like Doritos.
John's looking at me with love in his eye.
Now Doritos is coming out with all these goofy flavors, so now I'm doing these Dorito ones, and John keeps sending me messages. Go back to the Oreos. Go back to the Oreos. Too funny. So, all right, guys. Thanks again. You know what? Where should we send everybody? RatRodRocks.com?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yep,
Find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, but they can start at the website. That'll take them where they need to go.
Yep, everything's at the website.
And also, anybody out there, we have a couple of tickets left for the Angel Show next Thursday. If you buy a ticket, I think it's $25.
Yep.
You get a free Rat Rod CD and a free T-shirt. So,
and we'll do a package deal on that. If you buy more than one ticket, you'll get a better deal than that.
So, you know,
we do have extra large shirts.
Yeah, we do have extra large shirts.
All the way up to 4X, by the way.
Just hit anybody up on our Facebook pages or on the website. You know.
Yep, you can't miss us. We're like a bad penny. We turn up everywhere.
Yeah, and thanks for letting us promote a little bit there, babe.
If you got fat guy size, if you got 3X, I'll take a 3X on Thursday. Put me down for one.
You got it, bro.
All right, it's yours.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll wear that for next week instead of my Britney Spears shirt that I wore tonight.